Hello and welcome to episode 97 of Dorki's Entropia Universe report. I will mostly talk about solo sweating the giant gym bros of ancient Greece today and compare this activity to popular solo sweating mobs on two other planets. However, before I start on that topic, I will say a few words about the mining run that you will be watching throughout the entirety of this video, as well as dedicate a short segment to my avatar's progress and investment returns for the week from April 5th to April 12th, 2021. The avatar progress will be lumped up with the mining run overview, and the share and deed payouts will come later in the video. I am not yet sure whether I will edit out the no resource found drops or just keep it all in here and just cut the mining run short if I run out of stuff to talk about early. I will definitely cut out most of the running around though. Either way, this trip was what I would call an average mining run. Hit rate was kind of alright, but there were no larger multipliers capable of breaking me even, so I ended my run in about 30 peds of loss. On a 156 ped mining run, finder and excavator decay included. I already forgot what I found besides few plutonium claims, but you can see it all in the video. In any case, there was not enough markup to save this run, but mining is not just about the individual mining runs, but rather about the long-term returns and markup. So I do not mind these small losses when they occur. There is usually a profitable mining run somewhere around the corner to pay most of it back anyway. When it comes to my avatar's progress in skills, I gained about 400 skill points this week, and most of those came from the Lesser Elysia daily crafting mission. That make textile reward is quite nice for me, since that is one of those skills that I do not have many points in. I hoped to raise my total skill some more, but ran out of Listerium for the Lesser Elysia blueprint. And wouldn't you know it, when I actually needed to find that crap, it stopped spamming claims all over the place, and I started finding a lot more of other ores instead. Said in fewer words, I did not get enough for the daily mission and was too short on time to do more mining. By the way, if I do not forget again, I shall make a short avatar progress video on May 1st. I originally planned to do one on April 1st too, but completely forgot about it. Anyway, let's get into the sweaty business now. Level 1 and 2 Cyclops near Olympia is the best solo sweating mob in ancient Greece and possibly on the next island as a whole, as far as I know, but please do correct me in the comments below if I am wrong on this point. There are some small papus and boars that can be sweated solo too, but I think their HP is lower than the Cyclopses. Of course, I am talking about solo sweating without wearing any armor. You could probably solo sweat just about anything if you wore appropriate armor. However, it would cost you way more than you would make back in sweat and loot. Either way, I would like to compare these giant gym bros of ancient Greece to most popular solo sweating mobs from other planets. Those mobs are haters and forum trolls from Entropia, and of course the weak Paneleons from Cyrene. Please keep in mind that I am going to look at this from the perspective of a solo sweater who likes to do other stuff and go AFK while sweating. There is also a sweating circle taking place on the next island fairly regularly, judging by what I read in the Next Island chat channel, and that is most likely the way to go if you are a new player or if you want to get the highest amount of sweat in the shortest time possible. Sweating solo does tend to lead to a bit lower amounts of sweat collected due to more hits from the mob interrupting the process of filling sweat bottles. Anyway, let's start with the basics. Cyclops Scout can provide 20 bottles of sweat and is the weakest of them all. These are quite easy to sweat solo since they go dry fast and do not do much damage with each hit. As long as you have few levels in your evader profession, you should be fine. Cyclops, bandits and fighters are a bit tougher with 40 or 50 hit points or thereabouts, and they do a bit more damage per hit. These are likely to take your HP down a bit and you may have to wait around to regenerate afterwards. It is a bit difficult for me to judge their difficulty properly since I have 245 HP. That makes solo sweating a bit easier for me. In any case, these low maturities of Cyclopses that can be easily sweated solo do not hold much sweat. This leads to more need for micromanaging your sweating sessions, and in my case also to a lot of time wasted standing around doing nothing or sweating a dry mob. Sadly, these are not suitable to a mostly AFK way of sweating. The exact opposite is true for haters on Rocktropia. They have 300 HP and usually take anywhere from 50 minutes to an hour to dry up. On top of that, haters do less damage per hit than Cyclopses. As far as the current state of the universe goes, haters are the best mob to solo sweat if you want to grab a fresh mob and forget about Entropia Universe for an hour. I do not think much else needs to be said about these, perhaps other than that new players might have difficulty sweating them solo until they get few levels in evader profession. But that is also true for any other mob out there, including punies. It is also worth mentioning that most spawns that have haters also have other mobs, including different variants of forum trolls, which have either 50 HP or 200 HP. The latter are a decent substitute for haters if you cannot find any at your local spawn. They do about the same damage per hit as haters as well. And lastly, weak Paneleons on Siren have 80 HP and they hit harder than haters. I would say their ability to take down my HP is comparable to Cyclops fighters. That being said, they hit for up to about 4 points of damage, while haters, for example, only do up to 2 points of damage. However, weak Paneleons are fairly easy to sweat with few levels of evader and an egg league ring of some sort to help with the avatar's natural regen. Still, I do tend to have to take breaks after a few mobs to regenerate before I can continue. They fit somewhere between the Cyclopses and haters in need for micromanagement during long sweating sessions. With all of that said, it seems like Cyclopses do not compare favorably to neither haters nor weak Paneleons. However, I would say there is not all that much difference when comparing them to the latter. The main kicker comes with the comparison to haters, and the superiority of haters for solo sweating is the reason why there are so many sweaters swarming Rocktropia and not many people sweating Cyclopses. The main reason why I am sweating them most days is that I do stuff around the place and on my computer and want to do something simple in Entropia Universe, while I do not have the time to actually play the game actively. Normally I would just park myself at a crafting machine and do Explo once, but I do need sweat for my daily Lesser Elysia mission, and I am too cheap to actually buy it off of other players. I would not recommend Cyclopses as a mob to try and make money off of for new players or people playing on a tight budget, but they are a decent little mob for sweating when you are on next island and in need of some cheap sweat. If you made your home on the planet and want to gather sweat without joining a sweating circle, or want to sweat while there is no sweating circle going on, then sure, why not? If you dream of becoming a professional sweater, then look elsewhere. The micromanagement needed to gather larger quantities of sweat is a bit annoying but not insurmountable. I personally like them for the purpose of gathering enough sweat for my daily crafting mission. Actually, I prefer Cyclopses to the alternative of sweating up a large stash on Rocktropia and warping it here. I would rather stay here and have the option to explore next island and ancient Greece when I do have the time to pay more attention to the game for a few hours. And that concludes my thoughts on Cyclopses as a solo sweating mob. Now let's briefly go over the Deeds&Shares payouts for the week. Arcadia Moon Deeds are paying out once again. They provided dividends of 4 PEG per deed spread throughout 3 payouts over the last 7 days. Their price seems to be at about 36 PEG a piece, although the daily price at the time I was writing this segment was 32.90. I guess someone probably sold a batch of them way under the price to an order, or got drunk and sold a batch of them for the price of one. Meanwhile, Ancient Greece shares did not pay anything this week and were selling at $9.99 for the cheapest stack, while Crystal Palace shares paid 2 PEG per share and the cheapest stack available was priced at $18.58. To conclude, this week was alright even though it ended in a loss for me. I did have a brief moment of weakness when I succumbed to the calling of Explore Recycle 2 blueprint and lost about 250 PEG to it. I did this on Calypso and went to hunt some oro on Arcadia for a bit afterwards, but I soon returned to next island. I gotten used to the place and did not feel right on another planet at this time. Either way, I spent a good chunk of my week sweating Cyclopses, which is why I decided to talk about them so much in today's episode. I plan to make a separate video about the Lesser Elysia crafting mission at a later date, and I already made the video about Minotaurs. By the way, sorry that I did not come up with any weird or funny stuff to say today. I wrote this episode except for the Deeds&Shares payout info late at night on Sunday, since I expected to be short on time on Monday and wanted to save those roughly 2 hours I spent writing most of these episodes. Needless to say, I was tired as hell, and the boost that provides plus 50 to my sense of humor has already been deactivated hours earlier due to the lack of energy for its upkeep. Anyway, thank you for watching. I wish you a pleasant remainder of the day and hope you enjoyed this video or found it informative. Please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. Thank you.